my friends, I'm Rick, and you see the table. We got a little Missy sitting up here in the sun behind me, checking out stuff outside the window. And we're going to look at something that, frankly, I think this is pretty rare. I don't know that, I'll have to honestly say, I didn't Google it, so I shouldn't say that. The reason it sticks out to mind is, well, I've never played it, right? But this thing here was given to me as when I participated in some kind of event at one of the conventions back in the 90s when we were going to conventions and stuff like that as a prize. And it's clearly a BattleTech, a Dungeons and Dragons TSR product, because it's got stamped all over it, says it right on it. The Player's Secret of Hogunmark. Birthright Domain Sourcebook by Carrie A. DeBride, right? So, how to use the Sourcebook. It says here, when Queen Freila departed on a vision quest, all thought she would soon return. Instead, her death has just plunged Hogunmark into chaos. Its many jarls, many jarls now squabble over who among them is the rightful ruler. Your character has a strong claim, but it is tainted by charges of treason. Can your PC unify a domain, warring clans, blah, blah. So, all right, at the end of the day, what you start out, one of the player characters has to be a noble or a noble aspirant, somebody who's got blood ties to the leadership of Hogunmark, in order for them to be basically the trying to recover become the king of the land kind of thing. I thought this would be a good game if you had a very limited group of players, 2 to 3 maybe at most. But you could almost make a solo game out of this well, because who do you trust? Who do you trust? How well can you trust anybody, kind of thing. Another element about this is it reminded me of the Viking supplement, the Scandinavian setting books and stuff for second edition. They're in the green covers, and this would have been right up that line because it talks about jars and frost giants, and the whole setting here is circa that era, right, of Scandinavia. So that particular source book would be quite useful in this. I never found anybody that wanted to play the game, the supplement. It just has been with me forever. So you get Hatter's Alvision Report, the Queen's Quest, Domestic Affairs, and External. That's the path ahead. So the Hogunmark Domain Sourcebook details the people, land, customs, and culture of Hogunmark, a Rjurik domain on Cerilia's northern frontier. Queen Freila, the ruler, described the Rjurik Highlands accessory. So there's another game accessory that goes tandem with this, and I don't have it that I know of. Has died, leaving the domain without a clear successor. This book assumes your player character is one of her 6 landed jarls, although you can play a different type of character if you choose. If your PC has the strongest claim to the throne but still must prove worthy of it, players of non-regent characters who live in or come from Hogunmark will also find this domain sourcebook useful. The independent streak known to Hogunmark's people makes this domain an ideal home for any adventurer. Once you finish reading the sourcebook, pass along to your DM, explain what you want to keep and change, blah, blah, blah. So, note, many of the character descriptions herein use abbreviations to denote race, class, gender, bloodlines, and so on. These standard Birthright abbreviations are detailed in the Ruins of Empire book in the box set and the Rjurik Highlands accessory. So these are something I don't have. I don't have the book set, and now we have a little better understanding. This was a tie-in to another set of books or a minor series within it, and which is still an interesting thing. So we get Wubja's Saga, the Tale of the Seven Prophecies, Brianna's Tale, the Sorcerer's Tale, the Clan War's Tale, Keldon's Tale, the Land. Yeah, see here, it says, those who live in Hogunmark sometimes think of their realm as 2 lands, one of winter and one of summer, one of tundra and one of taiga, one of darkness and one of light, True Hogan has said finds the beauty in all seasons. That's something to take in. Well, this is just far enough north that it's on the edge of the Arctic Belt area, so it is subject to wild, lighting issues and things, but not quite completely that far north. I always thought that this book here would go well with this particular source book for Forgotten Realms if we were to look for a place setting for it. That's just my opinion on it anyway. So glaciers and rivers, seas and coastline, wildlife. And truth is, I don't know if this was setting, if there was a sandbox setting for this or not. I don't remember if this was supposed to be part of Greyhawk. I don't think so because there's no references to it. But I know that there's Ruins of Empire was a box set, and I'm not sure 100% what it was about. All right. And I don't think this is set in Faerun because the Faerun's versions of the Vikings are pretty well established, and this one does not work well with that. So we get into the NPC character intros, people, the clans, the settled clans, the wild clans, royal protectorate, the government, the jarls council. Like I said, some of the important NPCs. Regency and investor holdings, law holdings, the navy, temples, the army, guilds, sources, everything you need to know to run this little backwater and do it pretty well. It's very interesting. If anybody here knows anything about this, other than, I mean, by all means, please leave some information in the comments. It'd be great. Until next time, guys. You guys have yourself a great week.
It just irritates me to no end.